This is the last 48 hours in Palestine, and as your friend, I advise that you skip this video. You don't need this one. But here we go. Residential homes south of Gaza City. An-Nur Tower. It's a 14-story apartment building that has been reduced to nothing. The home of the Sakik family in Al Ramel. Even home of the journalist Hamza Krakai. Like many of these buildings, it was pre-warned. The people inside were told to evacuate before they bombed it. So the journalists set up to record. But they bombed the wrong house. Instead of targeting the journalist's home, they targeted one next to it and injured Ahmed Ibrahim in the process, along with several other people. While many of the neighbors had evacuated the area for the strikes, journalists nearby were recording what was not supposed to be danger close. There were martyrs and injuries as a result of these strikes. Journalists and civilians that the occupation knew were going to be there. And the people who survived have to pay the cost. All because the occupation decided to hit a different home. The occupation calls them accidents. Civil defense collects the martyrs and the injuries while under bombardment. From the occupation's accidents, they find legs and feet, and a fetus ripped from his mother's womb. Sometimes they don't warn you at all. Here they dropped a bomb on Al-Jalal Street. Martyrs lay on the sidewalk, bodies ripped apart. And the bombs keep falling. This one on Al Ramel. This one on the industrial junction west of Gaza City. The force of the impact throws belongings from neighboring homes into the streets. And the injuries keep arriving, these from the Al-Karama neighborhood. This little girl with a head injury can't stop vomiting. Her and her siblings were attacked by the occupation. There was no warning, and one of the little girls didn't make it. Babies arrived to Al-Quds hospital, screaming and covered in their own blood. A massive laceration that barely missed her femoral artery. She screams as the doctors assess her. Settlers attacked homes under the protection of the occupation in Masafer Yatta, specifically targeting Basil al-Adra and attacking his brother. He needed to be hospitalized, but the occupation closed the gates and held him up for 3 hours. While they were held up in traffic, the occupation invaded his home with his wife and his 9-month daughter. They re-abducted Bora Karama. She had already been held without charges or trial for over a year. Now 9 occupation soldiers invade her home and take her. And once they saw they were being recorded, they aimed their guns at the camera. They abducted men from Beit Rima, north of Ramallah, attacking their shops and invading, hitting them with what appears to be a cattle prod. They re-abducted Miriam Abdel Salam Salab. She was a pharmaceutical student in Al Khalil, and she was released with the 6th batch of prisoner exchanges. No charges, no trial. The occupation struck again the charging point in front of the Thai restaurant in Gaza City. Men covered in blood and lacerations. Boys charging their family phones. Bombing al-Shadi refugee camp, simultaneously a site of worship and a residential home. And the occupation ensured that it burned. Then they hit the Palestine Stadium. Children with chunks ripped out of their legs. Their tents had been set up inside of the Palestinian stadium, and this is what the occupation has done to these children. There were 4 martyrs. A child walked to Al-Aqsa hospital holding her youngest sibling after the occupation dropped a bomb on Deir al-Balah. Because this is what the occupation had done to her siblings. Her left leg amputated, her brother disemboweled, shrapnel protruding from the wound. But that pales in comparison to what they did to the baby. There were 6 martyrs, including the baby. At Al-Shifa, quadcopters opened fire on the people there, right after bombing a car nearby. There was 1 martyr and several injuries. By dawn, the flames were still burning in the vehicle, and the bombs outside of Al-Quds hospital were still falling. As the bombs continue to fall on Al Ramel, the Mana Tower in Tel Al Hawa, Families desperate to evacuate, throwing their belongings out of their building windows. Children terrorized by the occupation's threats and their attacks. As night fell, it was the Al-Sharab Tower in Al Rumail, the unknown soldier tower, nearly killing dozens of journalists in the process. Along with civilians, they wrapped this little boy's leg in the cleanest cloth they own. And this is why. Traumatic amputation of the patella. The occupation bombed off his kneecap. He's only about 3 years old. The strikes in Al Rumail nearly martyred a daughter of a journalist. Yahya Soubey was martyred back in May, the very day his daughter here was born. There were several other children injured in these strikes, many of whom didn't make it. 3 children from the Abu Ghanima family, including the baby. Fresh strikes in Al Jalaa Street, and the casualties are mostly children, like the 6-year-old twins, Amir and Zain. They had targeted the Abu Layla and the Abu Khnais families. The occupation that will drop bombs 50 meters from Al Quds Hospital. The same occupation that shoots 16-year-olds in the head at aid sites. They want you to believe Palestinians are the true terrorists, while their settlers shoot into people's homes in the night. After everything that you have seen and heard in this video alone, I think we've illustrated who the real problem is.